Now, have you ever wanted to buy a specific item but couldn't find it because no one was crafting it? Well, this was exactly the case of something that happened to me. Now, the other day I wanted to buy an incomous mace, but I could not find it in any of the tiers I wanted. Now, whether this was 7.4, 6.4, or 5.4, nothing was either of my interest or a value I would be comfortable paying. So I started looking for better options and ways I could make it for cheaper than the market value and start monopolizing these markets that no one is crafting for. Now on this video, we will be showcasing you one of the better ways of crafting high tier items without any focus and being able to profit off millions and millions at the end of the day. Now in order to do this, you'll be requiring just one thing, which is a guild. Now whether your guild is new or the top 1 guild, you just need to have a hideout that you can craft in. Now hideouts work exactly as cities, and different hideouts in different zones have different bonuses. In this case, if we want to craft incubus maces or maces for what's worth, we need to find a hideout that crafts them on the swamp maps. Now in this case, at the time the guild I was in had a hideout in a swamp map that was in the inner ring. This being, it's the furthest zones away from the portal zones, and thus have the highest return rate of them all. In this case, having a total of 41.6% return rate on an item without any focus usage. This being around 2 times more as the return rate that you would get crafting in the royal cities. Now this is probably one of the only ways that you can actually capitalize and compete with focus usage by crafting on higher end hideouts. So the first thing that I had to do was gather all the materials. In this case, I bought them directly from Bridgewatch because I had Roads of Avalon that would lead me directly to my hideout. So, and that's exactly what I did. I bought all the materials that I wanted from all the tiers, in this case 7.4s, 6.4s, and 5.4s, and I made myself into the black zone on my way to my hideout. Now whenever I'm transporting, I'm always keeping a very close eye on the map and on any enemies that I might find along the way. I'm also transporting through the Roads of Avalon, where I avoid the main roads, because here it's very likely that I get ganked. Something else that we also have to have in consideration is that you should scout the zones beforehand. So before you transport anything, make sure that you know exactly where you're going and what the route that you're taking is. So let's really quick get to our hideout and start crafting. Now the first thing that you have to do whenever you're buying or whenever you're reaching your hideout is buying books. Now in this case my guild allowed me to buy the books directly from the hideout, but there are some guilds that do not. So in this case you'll have to buy them already in the city and take them with you. Now the next thing, and probably the last step before we can get into crafting, it's feeding the shops. Now in this case I have to feed them because that's how my hideout worked, but there are some stations that you don't need to feed them. Now in this case I did have to feed them, so I brought with me the goat stews, which were the mandatory items that give the most nutrition to the shop. After everything is set up, we can start crafting and pray for the best. I'll let this one play out for you guys to watch. Unfortunately, we did not hit any masterpiece, but at the end of the day, that is okay, as we are still making a lot of money by simply crafting these items. Now the next thing we're going to be doing is just making our way back into the original city that we came from. Now there are two options. We can either go back through the exact same road and place that we came from, or we can always try to find another route. In this case, on our way to the hideout, we spotted a Brazilian portal. And that's exactly where we're heading now, as it's safer than going to Bridgewatch again. Now, after arriving in Brazilian, we're just going to deposit everything that we have, and we're going to take our Incubus Maces, and we're going to upgrade them to Excellent. Sometimes we can be very unlucky, as this is pretty much gambling, but on this session we had a lot of luck and we ended up getting excellence in most of our tries. And the last thing that we need to do is sell the items. Now we're going to spread these around all the different cities, and we're going to be very patient, as these are very expensive items and items that very few players use. That being said, it's probably going to take me a couple of days or even weeks for these items to sell, but they will eventually sell and we are going to be making a lot of money on these. So how much money exactly did we make with this crafting session, you may be wondering? So we crafted a total of 4 Incubus Maces 7.4, which gave us a rough profit of 4 million silver. So this equals to 16 million. Then we crafted 6.4 Incubus Maces. Now each one gave a total profit of roughly 2 million. Now that's another 12 million. And finally, for each tier 5 or 5.4, which we crafted 5 of them, we made another million on each. So this means that for all the 5.4 maces, we made a total profit of 5 million silver. Now this gives a total of 33 million silver for this crafting session that took us around 30 minutes to do. That being said, I hope you guys take maximum advantage of your hideouts and use and abuse if you can, as these are probably one of the best ways to make money if you're in a guild. That being said, that is all for me. Thank you so much for watching, and as usual, Nendys out.